Hello, I am Strong Knotz from the Video Psychosis podcast, here to talk to you today about another little obscure film that's The Clown Tape from 1990. Now, the best way to describe The Clown Tape, it's a found footage mockumentary that predates artificial reality television and even the psychotic stoner comedy stylings of Adult Swim. So, what is The Clown Tape? Well, it's one of those forgotten 1990s oddball video artifacts, sort of like Rock's Winning Workout Without Weights or Live from Longmont Potion Castle. Basically, everything I have to say about this is just a reiteration of something that's already been said in a really great review by Jay Winston on Letterboxd, so check out his review. There's very little information available online about The Clown Tape, and that kind of helps blur the line between fiction and reality, just like we talked about with Baked Baby Jesus in the last video review. So that makes it kind of hard to say who the actors are, since the cast list at the end uses the same names as the characters in the short film. For instance, Charles Goot, whatever, plays the main narrator, also the titular clown. Drew Smith is listed twice for his dual performance as the older gentleman who has a coughing fit and spits in a cup. Also the pretentious clerical collar-wearing historian. So, there you go. Director Rick Groel, not to be confused with Rick Roll, which it sounds like he's saying when you first watch the film. He's also acted in Hal Hartley's 1991 short film Ambition. He's been writing for TV for a long time now. Worked on The Adventures of Pete and Pete. He's now doing the cartoon Johnny Test, so not a lot of directorial work for him. The director of photography / co-editor / co-producer, Peter Streetman, he also shot Matthew Barney's Cremaster series, as well as Gabe Bartalos's Skinned Deep, a film that we really like here at Video Psychosis. He was one of many collaborators on a documentary about survival research laboratories, the people who brought you A Bitter Message of Hopeless Grief, among other great stuff. And there's also, speaking of the Cremaster cycles, music by experimental artist and composer John Bepler. He worked on Cremaster and some other work with Matthew Barney. This is a lot less pretentious than the Cremaster cycle, of course, not that that's hard to do. It opens without credits, and we hear the story about Chet Rooney, who we'll talk about some more later. A man who lost his job and wife in 1974 and decided to dress as a clown and road trip across the United States after seeing Christine Chubbuck's live suicide on television. Cut to 1989, and this Charles Goot guy, the narrator, decides to recreate the trip both as an homage and to try and understand the reasons behind Chet's trip. Long story short, it doesn't work.
I fear every gas station.
What about the one
And
you
the
came?
meals, actually meals aren't as bad because you sit down and people get used to it and you can relax. At the gas station, you can't. The gas stations are just big anxiety houses.
Angst, fear, and self-loathing are a recurring dynamic throughout this film, as Charles has an existential breakdown trying to make the journey. He's constantly faced with doubt and paranoia throughout the story as the audience is treated to surreal dreamlike interludes.
Am I an excited clown?
Finding yourself in a clown.
Am I a boring clown?
Finding yourself in a clown.
Repetition, avant-garde editing techniques, bizarre sight gags like a censor bar that doesn't even actually protect the person's identity. There's also a long-since disconnected phone number that appears on the screen several times. Don't call it. I already tried it. No one will answer. There's random on-screen text about Richard Nixon's resignation and pardon, as well as Gerald Ford's inauguration. There's an audience laugh track that's awkwardly dubbed over real interactions with the main guy, Charles, and real people, as he takes his sort of truck stop odyssey, complete with video slot machines and cheap hotels. And there's really no way to describe this. You just have to watch it. It's currently available on YouTube. There's a blog called Popcorn for Breakfast. They kind of compared the film to John Jost, And that's actually somewhat accurate. It isn't dissimilar to the blue-collar anxiety of Last Chance for a Slow Dance. There's even a scene with this bickering couple that kind of recalls the troubled couples of Frame Up and The Bed You Sleep In.
This is stupid. This is ridiculous. What do you have to gain by this?
But much funnier. So, and of course you can't hate anything that ends with a song and dance number. And no real resolution at all.
A clown is a clowner, a jump is a jumper, a sing is a singer, I'm a little dinger.
So, The Clown Tape, 1990, check it out. We mentioned Chet Rooney, that's the clown that inspired Charles's recreation. Well, Chet Rooney is based on a real person, that's the late Richard Rooney, who was the owner of a club called Chet's Last Call in Boston. And this was just their tribute to him, and there's even a quote from him, I don't know if it's real or not, at the end of the film. So, like I said, available on YouTube, highly recommended. The Clown Tape, 1990. Check it out. This is Video Psychosis. I'm Strong Knotz. Thank you.
I'm not through yet.
Oh, and before you go, don't forget these sage words of advice. A clown is a clown, is a clown, is a clown, is a clown, is a clown.